So this is a day many people thought would never come. There has been an arrest in the Tupac Shakur murder. And we are talking a murder that happened not only decades ago, last century.
Yes, last century, but it has finally happened. They have indicted in Las Vegas a man known as Keffe D. You've probably seen interviews.
What's up and welcome to the All Media channel. Breaking news alert. A suspect in rapper Tupac Shakur's 1996 slaying has been charged with murder in Las Vegas. An admitted former street gang leader was arrested on Friday on a charge of murder in the Las Vegas shooting death of hip-hop star Tupac Shakur. Shakur was murdered nearly 3 decades ago. Since then, his murder has been a long unsolved cold case that became a defining moment in the history of rap music. Dwayne aka Keffe D. Davis, who police said was long suspected and began implicating himself in a series of public statements in recent years, was taken into custody outside his home a day after a grand jury in Clark County, Nevada, returned an indictment against him. The indictment was presented during a brief hearing on Friday to a judge who ordered Davis, 60, to remain jailed without bond until an initial court appearance set for next Wednesday. Davis was charged with 1 count of murder with a deadly weapon for his alleged role in leading a group of men to kill Shakur in a 1996 drive-by shooting near the Las Vegas Strip. Authorities described Davis as the shot caller of a hurried plot to avenge the beating of his nephew, Orlando Anderson, inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena by Shakur and members of his entourage on the night of September 7, 1996, not long before the shooting. Davis orchestrated the plan that was carried out to commit this crime, Metropolitan Police Department Lieutenant Jason Johansson said at a news conference. It was not immediately clear whether Davis had secured legal representation. Police showed hotel security footage of several men kicking and punching a person they identified as Anderson near a bank of elevators before security personnel broke up the altercation. One of those seen attacking Anderson was identified as Marion Suge Knight, co-founder and then CEO of Los Angeles-based Death Row Records, which produced Shakur's records. That incident, Johansson said, led to the retaliatory shooting death of Tupac Shakur. After obtaining a gun from an unnamed associate, Davis, along with Anderson and 2 other men, Terrence Brown and DeAndre Smith, boarded a white Cadillac and rode off to locate the black BMW that night had driven away from the hotel with Shakur as his passenger. When Davis and the others caught up to Shakur and Knight's vehicle, shots were fired from the Cadillac into the passenger side of the BMW. Shakur struck 4 times, died in a hospital 6 days later at the age of 25. Knight, who was grazed in the head by a bullet fragment but suffered only minor injuries, was sent to prison the following month for violating terms of his probation in a previous assault case when he was caught taking part in the MGM melee. Authorities did not say who actually fired the gun at Shakur. The 3 others in the Cadillac with Davis are all since deceased. A rival gangster rap star from the New York-based record label Bad Boy Entertainment, Christopher Wallace, was shot to death in Los Angeles in March 1997 in a murder that still remains unsolved. Wallace, who performed as Notorious B.I.G., had become embroiled in an escalating East Coast-West Coast rap feud before his death, and his killing was rumored to have been a possible act of retaliation for Shakur's murder months earlier. Johansson said the violence at the MGM stemmed from animosity between 2 rival Los Angeles area street gangs, the South Side Compton Crips, of which Dwayne was the reputed leader, and the notorious mob Piru Gang, with which Death Row Records and Knight were closely affiliated with. Members of both groups were in Las Vegas the night of the killing to attend a world heavyweight title boxing match between Mike Tyson and Bruce Seldon. Johansson said detectives had pieced together most of the circumstances and people involved in the events that led to the shooting in the first few months of their investigation, but they long lacked admissible evidence to seek criminal charges. The case was reinvigorated in 2018 by Davis's own admissions to his involvement in this homicide investigation that he provided to numerous different media outlets. Davis, a self-described gang leader, had admitted in interviews and in his 2019 memoir, Compton Street Legend, that he was in the Cadillac from which shots were fired at Shakur's vehicle. That sparked a renewed push by police to solve the case, leading investigators to obtain a search warrant for Davis's home in July. Additional evidence uncovered that paved the way for the indictment, Johansson said. Shakur, an influential performer widely regarded as one of rap music's greatest artists, was also one of its most commercially successful, selling more than 75 million records worldwide. He was best known for raw lyrics laced with violence, sex and profanity describing life in the ghetto. His album, All Eyes on Me, released shortly before his death, celebrated his own outlaw image. Beloved by his fans and detested by politicians for songs that sometimes celebrated violence and misogyny, Shakur was no stranger to trouble, having spent much of the last 2.5 years of his life in and out of court, jail, or hospitals. Shakur, who became arguably more popular in death than in life, was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2017. Knight, his manager, pleaded no contest in a Los Angeles courtroom in September 2018 to a charge of manslaughter for a 2015 hit-and-run killing in Compton, accepting a 28-year prison sentence under a deal with prosecutors days before his murder trial was to begin. Rest in peace and long live the spirit of Tupac Shakur and his mother Afeni Shakur. We send our condolences and prayers to the Shakur family. Do you think the police finally got the man who killed Tupac? Is Keffe D the only person responsible for the murder of Tupac Shakur? What about the many reports of Keffe D being paid by rapper P. Diddy to carry out the murder? Is Suge Knight also responsible for Tupac's death? Did Suge know the hit was going to happen that fateful night in Las Vegas? What about Orlando aka Baby Lane Anderson? Does this arrest clear his name of Tupac's murder? Do you think Keffe D will be convicted for Tupac's murder? Let us know your thoughts and be sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons down below. And as always, thank you for watching All Media.